Welcome to Corporals Corner. Today we're going to split wood using our saw. So stick around. Knife or a saw? That's a question that always finds its way down to my comment section. And here's my response to that. Why am I limited to one or the other? There's a time and place for either one or for both. But here's my response. I've personally found that it requires more calories, more hydration, and a lot more skills to proficiently and continuously swing an axe all day in order to stack firewood or build a structure. Now with that said, I've also found that it requires less calories, less hydration, and a lot less skills to use an ordinary saw, like this one right here. Now using that saw, I can cut wood up to 4 inches in diameter, I can process that wood, and I can even split that wood. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of safe cutting practices and then move into splitting wood using the saw. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is called the plumber's vise. All we're going to do is we're going to take our log or our branch, I'm going to place it behind my dominant leg where my calf meets my thigh. Using my non-dominant hand, I can place it on that log to stabilize it, or I can slide it back and forth to the desired length that I want to cut. Now taking my saw, I can cut outside or away from my body, avoiding my triangle of death. Now this next method works especially well with dry wood or dead wood. All you gotta do is find a tree trunk with a V in it, like this one right here. Take your dead wood, place it inside there to your desired length, and simply snap it off. Now using that exact same technique on green wood or wood that's a lot more dense, all you gotta do is revert back to your plumber's vise. Put in a series of stop cuts anywhere from 1/3 to half the diameter of that log, place it back into the V groove, and break it off. And the last thing I want to talk about before we move on to splitting wood with our saw is the proper method for using a buck saw. Taking my non-dominant hand, I'm going to place it through my buck saw. I'm doing two things. One, I'm going to stabilize this log, and 2, I'm going to keep that blade from bouncing around. Now once that saw blade is 100% embedded inside of that kerf, I can remove my hand and continue on. Now let's go ahead and talk about splitting wood using our saw. For this, all we're going to do is utilize everything we just talked about and combine that with brute force. So once again, utilizing our plumber's vise, I'm going to take my saw, I'm going to cut down anywhere from 1/3 to halfway into that log. So from here, taking our log, we have a stop cut about halfway in. All I'm going to do is I'm going to strike it against that log and hopefully split it in half. And then do it again. And when it's all said and done, you're left with pieces that are a lot more manageable. Welcome back. Splitting wood with the saw is outstanding. Just make sure you practice safe cutting techniques. As always, all the gear in this video can be found on my Amazon influencer page. I'll toss a link inside the description box. Please do me that favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun, and I'm going to catch you next time.